Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 16, verses number 5 and 6. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 16, text number 5. Bandhugyatya arimadhyasta mitro dasina vidvisha sarva eva hi sarvesham bhavanti karma somitha. Bhavanti krama somitha. Bandhugyatya arimadhyastha mitro dasina vidvisha sarva eva hi sarvesam bhavanti kramasomitha. Bandhugyatari madhyastha mitrodasina vidvisha sarva eva hi sarvesham bhavanti kramasomitha. Bandhugyatari madhyastha mitrodasina vidvisha sarva eva hi sarvesham bhavanti kramasomitha. Bandhugyatari madhyastha mitrodasina vidvisa sarva eva hi sarvesham bhavanti kramasomitaah. Bandhu, friends, Jnati, family members, Ari, enemies, Madhyastha, neutrals, Mitra, well-wishers, Udasina, indifferent, Vidvisha, or envious persons, Sarve, all, Eva, indeed, he, certainly, Sarvesham, of all, Bhavanti, become, Kramasa, gradually, Mita, one of one other, another. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Sarana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. In this material world, which advances like a river that carries away the living entity, all people become friends, relatives, and enemies in due course of time. They also act neutrally. They meditate, they despise one another, they act in many other relationships. Nonetheless, despite these various transactions, no one is permanently related. Purport. It is our practical experience in this material world that the same person who is one's friend today becomes one's enemy tomorrow. Our relationships as friends or enemies, family men or outsiders, are actually the result of our different dealings. Chitraketu Maharaj was lamenting for his son, who was now dead, but he could have considered the situation otherwise. This living entity he could have thought was my enemy in my past life. And now, having appeared as my son, he is prematurely leaving just to give me pain and agony. Why should he not consider this dead son his former enemy, and instead of lamenting, be jubilant because of an enemy's death? As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakrite Kriyamanani Gunek Karmani Sarvasaha. Actually, everything is happening because of our association with the modes of material nature. Therefore, one who is my friend today, in association with the mode of goodness, may be an enemy tomorrow in the association of mode of passion and ignorance. As the modes of material nature work in illusions, we accept others as friends, enemies, sons, or fathers in terms of the reactions of different dealings under the different conditions. Text 6. Just as gold and other commodities are continually transferred from one place to another in due course of purchase and sale, so the living entity, as a result of his fruitive activities, wanders throughout the entire universe, being injected into various bodies in different species of life by one kind of father or after another. Purport. It has already been explained that Chitraketu's son was his enemy in his past life and had now appeared as his son just to give him more severe. Indeed, the untimely death of the son caused severe lamentation for the father. One may put forward the argument, if the king's son was his enemy, how could the king have so much affection for him? In answer, the example is given that when someone's wealth falls into the hands of his enemy, the money becomes enemy's friend. Then the enemy can use it for his own purpose. Indeed, he can even use it to harm its previous owner. Therefore, the money belongs to neither to the one party nor to the other. The money is always money, but in different situations, it can be used as enemy or a friend. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, it is not by any father or mother that the living entity is given his birth. The living entity is completely separate identity from the so called father and mother. By the laws of nature, the living entity is forced to enter the semen of the father to be injected into the womb of the mother. He is not in control of selecting what kind of father he will accept. Prakrite Kriyamanani. The laws of the nature force him to go to different fathers and mothers, just like a consumer commodity that is purchased and sold. Therefore, the so called relationship of father and son is arrangement of Prakriti or nature. It has no meaning, and therefore it is called illusion. The same living entity sometimes takes shelter of an animal father and mother, and sometimes a human father and mother. Sometimes accepts a father and mother among the birds, and sometimes he accepts a demigod mother and father. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Brahmande Brahmite kono bhagyavan jeev, Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata beej. Harassed life after life by the loss of nature, the winged entity wanders throughout the entire creation in different planets and different species of life. Somehow or another, if he is fortunate enough, he comes in touch with a devotee who reforms his entire life. Then the living entity goes back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, it is said, Janme janme sabe pite mata pai, Guru Krishna Guru nahi mile bhaja hari. In the transmigration of the soul through different bodies, everyone in every form of life, let it be human, animal, tree, or demigod, gets a father and mother. That is not very difficult. The difficulty is to obtain a bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. Therefore, the duty of human being is to capture the opportunity to come in touch with Krishna's representative, the bona fide spiritual master. Under the guidance of spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावधन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे बृंदावनीश्वरी शभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Canto 6, chapter number 16, verse number 5 and 6. The translation of text 5 says, in this material world, which advances like river that carries away the living entity, all people become friends, relatives, and enemies in due course of time. They also act neutrally. They meditate, may not be in Kali Yuga, but they despise one another and they act in many other relationships. Nonetheless, despite of these various transactions, No one is permanently related. So here the pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj, where his son Harsha Shoka leaves his body, and Chitraketu is in such a great lamentation, and Narada Muni is trying to console him. And the way he uses to console him is to get the living entity back and give some upadesh to his father. So, in that context, here, the living entity, the small child who left his body, is saying it's just like the flow of river which brings the particles together and disperses it. That is how different living entities come together in this world and go away. Uh, like when we travel sometimes in trains, it is observed that in generally in trains, I have seen people making actually contact with other people, talking to them, asking them what is happening. In flight, nobody does that actually. In flight, everybody is silent in their own business. But in trains, because it is a long journey and people get fed up with the phones and what all kind of an environment and things like that, so they keep talking to each other. And one many times devotees say that, I have met this person in train and he was telling about you, like that they speak, because they're somehow anytime anybody travels in train, they meet somebody they know or they make some connection which will long last. Once, many years ago, I was traveling to Guru Maharaj's yatra in Mayapur from Hyderabad. I remember still the person whom I met in train messages me every day, good morning and good night. So many years he has been doing it, but we never replied to him. But still, every day, continuously, he sends good morning and a flower, good night and a photo of moon. Each and every day he sends, because any festival comes, he sends festival wishes. There is some kind of bonding people make, and it is so easy. Once we were in Mayapur in what is that called? The leadership training, ILS, it is called. It's called leadership training. And we were all the participants and we were sitting on different tables. And one wonderful thing is, Maharajas would just come and sit on a random table and start talking to the participants. So every day we would get lot of association of so many devotees actually. So one day Guru Prasad Maharaj just dropped by, and he sat in the table where we were sitting. So Maharaj just said, so how is ILS going on? Any questions anybody has? Like that Maharaj asked. So the devotee who was sitting next to me, he said, Maharaj, how to develop feelings for Krishna? How to develop relationship with Krishna? Like that he asked. So Guru Maharaj said, it is so easy to develop a relationship. The devotee was saying, Are, how? Then Maharaj said, see, you shift to a new house, and the person next to you, you just make contact, and in few days you start exchanging so many things. You go for outing together, and they come to your house, you go to their house, they call you to their functions and you call them to your functions, and it becomes like a family. You go to a college, you sit to some person who is sitting next to you, you make such a big bond with him that you tell he is my best friend, friends for life, and so many tags you give this person. You completely don't know this personality at all, but just by coming in contact for some time, you think that I cannot live without this person. He is my best friend, he is my greatest well wisher. And in Andhra, I don't know how it is in Maharashtra and things like that, people generally, they call friends as mama. Mama means, generally we use this term for mother's brother. So they say, Are mama ikkada. So they make so easy. Babai, like that they call. Babai means father's brother. So it is easily, just by a few days contact, we consider him as friend, we consider him as life partner. So many strange things happens in this world. So here the living entity is saying that everybody comes together, but in course of time, everybody has to go. Nobody is permanent. All these relationships do not stand. So here, Srila Prabhupada quotes the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Janme Janme Sabe Pita Mata Pai. Everybody gets father and mother. Everybody gets all kinds of relationships in this world. But people may sometimes get entangled in the relationships and they take it so seriously, so attached. One not a devotee, coming up devotee, he was telling me, he was telling me that I don't believe in God. I said, why? Because he has taken my son away. I said, you are saying that God has taken your son away and you don't believe in God. That means you believe in God, but you're just angry with God that he has taken your son away. He was telling, my son is such a nice person. He was always so good from childhood. He never did any mischief. He wanted to help everybody, whomever he sees in class. What happened to him? Why did the Lord take him away? Like that he was saying. He was means with pain. He was shouting so loudly, an entire hall could hear what he was saying. So many times we see loss of a near and dear personality affects us very much. So people do not understand, some if some child is born in our family, that everybody is celebrating, but just that living entity is crying because again he has to undergo all the miseries of this material world. Everybody is happy, but this fellow has to cry so much actually. So I gave this example to him because in Telugu states it is common that everybody goes to Tirupati every year once at least for darshan. I told him, see, the neighbor who is next to you, he wants to go for a Tirupati Yatra. He gives the keys of your house to you and he says, see, I am going for 1 week. There is deities in my home. Please take care of the deities. There is Tulsi Maharani's plant. Please water Tulsi Maharani. And also maid will come every day in the morning. Please open the keys and let the maid clean. Then he does everything. And he also says, see, after 7 days we are coming. So one day before you take the milk and put it in the fridge. The most important when children are there. So he was doing everything very diligently. Every day in the morning, he would open the keys, the maid would go clean, he would put lamp to the deities, water Tulsi Maharani. After 1 week, when this person comes and tells, give back my keys, he says, no, 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 I am serving the deities, I am watering the Tulsi Maharani, I am getting the maid clean every day, I will not give. Arey Baba, this is my house. I have just given you for 7 days for taking care of it, but now I need it. He says, no, 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 I have done it, so it has to be with me. What logic it is? So Krishna has given us somebody to take care of us. That's why in devotee circle, we always write ICO, in care of. We do not say that we are the owner, but we are the caretaker. So when this kind of bhav is there, then we understand the Lord's hand actually. So this Maya is so powerful that it frustrates everybody, but it will not frustrate anybody hopelessly. Maya will frustrate every living entity hopefully. He will think, this time I have done wrong, but let me change this and then it will not happen again. So Maya frustrates every day, every second, whatever we are trying to do, whatever relationships we are trying to make. Maya will frustrate us, but hopefully, no, this is my mistake. Let me change it, then things may get better. This is the plan of Maya. So detachment is needed. Vairagya. But is Vairagya bhakti? No, it is a result of bhakti. So somebody was asking a devotee that how should we practice detachment? The devotee said, by not practicing detachment. Practice attachment to Krishna and detachment will naturally come, but do not practice detachment. If we artificially practice detachment, then we will go nowhere. So one devotee, we went to Vrindavan Yatra recently and she lost her mobile phone. And that devotee was asking practically everybody in the yatra, did you see my phone? Did you see my phone? Did you see my phone? Practically behind me, Prabhu, you put a message in the group if somebody has seen. Prabhu, you talk to the organizers in the GRC whether they have seen. Prabhu, you tell them to give me access of the CCTV cameras. Prabhu, you check with the divers of. I was thinking, my God, one's phone and I have to spend so much time. She's just behind me. Then one devotee came to me and he said, I think he observed my frustration and he comes and tells me, Prabhuji, Mataji is crying entire night. She did not sleep. She's just crying for that mobile phone. I said, what is it in the mobile phone? Is it made with gold and diamonds or anything? Then no, Prabhuji. That phone was gifted to her by her brother from the first salary which he got. So it is very dear to her. It is sentiment for her. That's why she is so attached to it. Actually, she is attached to this phone, but not because of the phone, but because of the love which she has to her brother. This is a very important thing. I was reflecting on this point. I was thinking that actually, if we love Krishna, then we will take care of everything which is given by Krishna very meticulously. If we do not love Krishna, if we do not have attachment to Krishna, we are just actually very like in a uh, material way attached to the commodity or a person or thing or situation. But if we have that attachment to Krishna, then we can really take care of everything in this world very nicely. So detachment is, everybody is detached in this world. Have you heard about dink couples these days? Dink couples? Has anybody heard? Adikesha Prabhu has heard. Dink means dual income and no kids. That is growing in India. It's called dink couples. They are not detached. They do not want kids. They just do not want to take the responsibility, but they want to nicely enjoy dual income. Both of them will work, but no responsibility. Just because living entity, people may, but I have heard when I was coming to Krishna consciousness, when I would look at some devotees, so my seniors would say, these devotees have voluntarily chose not to get kids because they want to, spend their entire energy in service of Guru and Krishna. It was very astonishing to me, actually, this kind of concept where devotees want to dedicate their entire time in service of Krishna. Wow, that's so great. But then you see people do not want to have kids. People do not want to have nowadays they do not want to take any responsibility. And most of them in this world do not want to buy a house nowadays. In West, if you go, most of them live in what they call as caravan. Are they detached? No. They do everything what happens in the house in the caravan. So external detachment will not take us anywhere, but attachment to Krishna, when we have that sincere gratitude, and when we acknowledge that Krishna has given everything in this world to us, then the real attachment comes. So here in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that today if one is a friend, tomorrow he will become an enemy. So in childhood, we would remember when we would play some games with all the kids. Then if some fighting happens, we would say "Katti, katti karo." Then everybody would go do like this, and big fight is happening. Everybody's breaking bats and everything. Parents come and they take sides. Hey, your son is like this. Your son is like this, and they take us away. And after half an hour, they see everybody's playing together. Only the parents become bad fellows. All the kids are playing again. Actually, so we do not know who is the, and the parents are gossiping about the son. See, that fellow did like this fellow did like this, and children, they just forget it and they're again playing with each other. The world is so strange, actually. If we are enemy with somebody today, we are friends with somebody tomorrow. It happens especially in politics. Today is a special day. I hope all of you have cast your vote. So in India, somebody was saying that more than casting your vote, it is voting your caste. That should not be our motive, actually. We should cast our vote to the person or to the government which will really understand the ethics and nature. Somebody recently was telling that now everybody throughout the world is respecting India. I think Krishna Abhishek Prabhu, the last Bhagavatam class which I had to give, Prabhuji exchanged. So after that conversation, Krishna Abhishek Prabhu was telling Adikeshwar Prabhu, you remember he was telling that everybody is respecting India because now the leadership of India wants to practice the values of Sanatan Dharma and Bharat to its core. That's why everybody is respecting India. So when we practice our principles very strongly, very consistently, very diligently, everybody will respect us. So when I was in college, when I was studying in university, I would go to college with Tilak, and I would go to temple every day. And whenever I would get time, I would go to Kanchipuram. Everybody would say Pantulu, like that. They would tease me actually. All my friends in the hostel, they would say Pantulu achadu. Pantulu means pujari aaye hai. देखो देखो पुजारी आ रहा है मंदिर से आ रहा है प्रसाद देगा. Like that they would tease me. So many times what happens is these days, whenever we speak to the youth, everybody has this complaint. Prabhuji, if I am putting tilak, if I am putting kantimala, everybody is teasing us. What should we do? Should we hide kantimala? Can we put water tilak? I said, I would not do that. I would just put tilak nicely, put shika, go to the temple every day, do Vishnu Sahasranama and come back. But I also had to undergo this. But it is sometimes very painful when you get so much teasing and criticism. And but you know what happened? I did not go. I was just consistently doing what I was doing. And one day, the fellow who would tease me most, he comes to my room and he says, Pranav, can you see my hand? I said, what happened to you? My life is not going very nicely actually. Can you read my hand and tell me some solution? Like that he asked. So I said, give me your hand. He said, every day come to the temple with me. And we have our deities take prasad every day. Everything will go nicely. And that fellow, if anybody would tease me again, he would say, hey, that fellow was a Telugu fellow. Kaal iraggodta. He would say, I'll break your bones if you tell him something. Like that he would tell. Just because we did not leave that consistency, just because we were influenced for something external. One day I was in rush and I did not put my Tiruman Tilak while going to the college. So my teacher, who was a Christian, I would sit in the first bench. She says, Pranav, where is that red line on your face? Like that she said. I said, what red line? Oh, Tilak, I did not put Tilak. Said, no, no, you should put that red line. You look so good with that red line. Go, go, go and put Tilak and come. He said, go and put that red line and come. I went to the hostel, put red line again and came. He said, now you are looking good. He said, so when you are consistent, people identify. Actually, people appreciate. But when we do not maintain that consistency, people think, Acha, this fellow, if it is, he will leave. So let us keep throwing stones on him and let us get him back from all the good things which he is doing. So that is the nature of people in this world. In Telugu, there is a samata, they say that Neelunna bhavike kappal ostai. Have you heard about it, Mataji? When a pond which has water, only then the frogs will come. Otherwise, nobody would want to come to us. These relatives, friends, everybody is like that actually. If we have money, if we have wealth, if we have fame, if we have name, then everybody will say, oh, I know him, he is my cousin, he is my nephew, and things like that. When there is nothing, when we are when we are struggling in this material world, everybody wants to keep distance. So that is the nature of this world. That's why here Srila Prabhupada, when he is writing, in due course of time, everybody is going to change. We are going to get different experiences based on what situation we are in. Everybody is going to leave us one day or the other. So detachment, which comes with love for Krishna, is most important. There is one Acharya in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, is called Swami Manavala Ramunigal. His appearance day just went by. So one day he took bath in river Kaveri and he was just entering the temple of Ranganath Swami. And one person comes and tells him, no, 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 you cannot go inside. So what happened? Yes, one of your relatives passed away, so you cannot enter. He was thinking, my God, relative passed away. Today one fellow has passed away. Tomorrow one fellow will take birth. Somebody is having this, somebody is, so many relatives are there. Sometimes it happens, right? We are doing some good program in the house. In home, it would happen previously, actually. So they would say, no, no, you cannot do this because that fellow died, this fellow took birth, and so many things, actually. My mother would say, my God, so many relatives, so much problem. My grandfather's grandfather had 23 children. So it's such a big family that somebody is is taking part, somebody is dying always in the family. So in olden days, they would do something called breaking the stick. Have you heard about this ritual? When the family grows very big, they would take a stick in mutual consistence, they would just break it so that we do not have any ties with you. So if somebody dies in your family also, we will not follow it. Oh, that is how people would practice detachment. So many family members we do not want because we have to do all the rituals, we have to go to their functions, we have to give gifts. That is most important actually. So he thought that if it is like this, then so much service I am going to miss of Lord. Then he goes straight to the river Kaveri, takes sannyas, and goes into the temple. He says, now I am not related to anybody. How I do not want to miss darshan, I do not want to miss seva today. So better take sannyas and go inside. That kind of detachment people had, that a detachment arising from love towards Krishna. So when that love is there, we are ready to sacrifice things. We have seen in the history of Sanatana Dharma, where history of Bharat, where people sacrificed so much, actually, so much, just to protect this nation, just to protect the culture, just to protect Dharma. And we hear, and one of the most striking examples is of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in the land where we are in right now. So recently I went to one program, and the host of the program, it is in Telugu land, but he had a big photo, this big photo of Shivaji Maharaj there in his house, exactly in the entrance. Very big person, industrialist with thousands of crores. I asked him, what is your inspiration, do you know about Shivaji Maharaj? He said, Prabhuji, you are asking by how I don't know, I know him very well. He said, then he was telling me some stories, and then I asked, why did you put so much big photo? Said, just like Shivaji Maharaj gave his entire life to, for the nation to protect this land of Bharat, I am also planning to do that service. So I had, what is your plan? He said, I'm going to earn so much money, so much money, so much money, and keep it for all my, children and relatives, and whatever is remaining, I am going to donate for a person whom I think is selflessly working. Like that, he said. I said, very nice, wonderful. We have to train him very nicely. We have to connect him. I said, you come to GEV, and we have a very nice project there. And this person was telling, yes, Prabhuji, definitely we will come, we will plan, and we will see. So when somebody has that kind of potential, where somebody is planning to give up things, that is a very big thing actually. And I see in this world today that people who come to Krishna consciousness, and they are always in this mood of many young couples these days, they ask me, Prabhuji, how should we retire fast and come and serve? One great benefit in Kali Yuga is all the sadhus in all other yugas were somewhere in the forest or on the mountain or in the waters doing penance. But because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, now everybody has gone to cities. We have a temple in Adilabad. It is little bit far from the city. So we were just discussing with the devotees. We were thinking how we should make a temple in between the city, and we are just trying that we may get some land there, because we want to be accessible to as many people as possible. Because the material world is very scary, it's really scary. When you would have heard this pastime of one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, the ocean looks so beautiful. Srila Prabhupada said, yes, from far it looks very beautiful, but when you enter the ocean, it is very gambhira, it is said, very dangerous actually. Anybody has traveled in cruise anytime? Cruise? Have experience of cruise? Rajans Prabhu, how it is in the cruise when you are nowhere, just waters everywhere, and when there is some kind of disturbances on the ocean, my God, all the things topple away in the room, everything becomes ups and down. And after the storm goes over, you have to practically arrange each and everything in your room. That is how dangerous it is. Nobody to call also. In the ocean, where we will call for help? If we are in the land, somebody will get a fire pipe and off the fire or things like that. In ocean, nothing is there. It's extremely dangerous. That's why here it is said that once we have fallen into the samsara, Kulashekara Alvar says, Krishna toye madana pavano moha mudmod vimala dharavarte tanaya sahaja graha sangakulecha. He says the wife is like the crocodile. Kulashekara Alvar is saying, I am not saying. And the relatives and the sons are like Sudigundam. Sudigundam means, what do you call Sudigundam? Whirlpools. Whirlpools. They just get us inside. And non-Krishna conscious people, where they get people like this. So it is very important to understand that nobody is permanent in this world. Today we are somebody's friend, and tomorrow he may leave. But the only friend, eternal friend, is Krishna and Guru. It is said that to explain the love of God in this world, we give example of mother. Mother's love is so niswardha that we compare it with God's love. But see, a mother who has brought living entity into this material world, into the samsara sagara, is having so much love. What about the person who is going to get this living entity of the samsara? How much love he would have? That is the spiritual master. That's why here Srila Prabhupada is saying in the last part of sixth verse, in transmigration of soul through different bodies, everyone in every form of life, be human, animal, tree, or demigod, gets father and mother. So this is not very difficult. The difficulty is to obtain a bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. Therefore, the duty of human being is to capture the opportunity to come in touch with Krishna's representatives, the bona fide spiritual master. Under the guidance of spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home back to Godhead. So this is the speciality actually. We have got this opportunity to perfect our life by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, by the grace of our Guru Maharaj. If we take shelter of our spiritual master nicely. Once I remember here Srila Prabhupada, when I was reading this purport in the morning, he said spiritual master, spiritual father. Actually, Guru Maharaj was once talking to one devotee, and the devotees were telling Maharaj, today is his birthday. So Guru Maharaj was telling that, oh, today is your birthday. As a spirit, as your guru, I give you my blessings. As your father, I give you my love. And as a leader of this project, I expect you to complete your service in time, like that Maharaj said. So I was thinking that he is exact. He is he just said everything in that one statement actually. As a guru, I am giving you my blessings, and as a father, I give you my love, and as the leader of this project, I expect reciprocation. That is what Maharaj said. If we could do that, if we could experience the blessings of our spiritual master through hearing and through following the instructions, said the mercy is transferred to the extent we follow the instructions of spiritual master. So we can receive spiritual master's blessings, and we can receive spiritual master's love. And finally, when we reciprocate with him by doing the service which he is expecting from all of us, then we receive his grace. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Anybody would like to comment on something or anything? Adikesh Prabhu, Rup Raghunath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much, Anvala Prabhu, for your class, especially about family attachment, especially. So in the purport, if you read Prabhupada's, I know you very correctly said, if you have love for Krishna, then it will. But in the beginning, you don't have love for Krishna, but this type of, understanding can make a person very insensitive and irresponsible.
Definitely.
So how does one And he can justify, because you are very clearly saying here it is that we are so many father and mother, so many this, and these are all illusion. So a person in that convinced state may act in a very insensitive way. So how do you respond?
So I would want to tell one recent incident which happened in Yatra. So one person, one boy from Hyderabad, he was talking to me and he was telling me that Prabhuji, I do not want to talk to my mother anymore. He said to me like that. I said, what happened to you? I said, she keeps asking me so many questions. I said, what is the problem? Said, Prabhuji, I am planning to become a brahmachari and I am hearing GS classes. So that's why I do not want to talk to my mother anymore. Like that, he said. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for him. And I was just, this thing was going in my mind. I said, Prabhu, you have come to Yatra. You are seeing this personality. Every day you are hearing from Radhanath Maharaj. What is his mood? What is his teachings? First, understand your spiritual master's mood very nicely. Like that, I was telling him. And next day, my mother came to Yatra. So when Guru Maharaj was walking, Guru Maharaj stopped. And then I said, Guru Maharaj, this is my mother. She came. He said, oh, Hare Krishna. And then he told me, he pushed me down to bow down to my mother. And then I went down. I put my head on her lotus feet. I got up and Guru Maharaj touched my head where I put my mother's feet, and he put it on his own head as if he's taking the blessings of my mother. Once Guru Maharaj told me in last Kartik Yatra, Pranavanand Prabhu, whatever you are, it is just because of your parents' mercy. Always remember this. He said. Immediately, I thought I should tell this to that fellow who was telling I will not talk to my mother. I made a message and I sent him. Then I thought every devotee should know. And then our devotees sent that in Sadhu Walks where this incident had happened with Maharaj. So we have to, unless and until we really are mature, how do we, many times I see many people are immature when they come. I have also made this mistake of practicing artificial detachment by not calling our parents, and we think that, oh, this is great thing, I want to become a brahmachari and things like that. But soon, very soon, by Krishna's mercy, I could understand that this is not a way. This is not the way. I have seen devotees who gave that love to their parents, who had that connection, made them devotees more quickly than people who have frustrated their parents actually. So some people do not understand this. So the consequences of artificial renunciation are very bad. Only way by which we could do is by having the association of mature devotees. We may not have that maturity, but if we are constantly in the guidance of mature devotees, then I think that is the only way, because it is very attractive path actually to become detached also. Just by claiming, oh, Shastra say this, Prabhupada is saying that, so we do not want to do this, we do not want to do that. But that is complete irresponsibility, and Krishna will become very displeased by it. Actually, that I always worry. The question which you said, Prabhuji, is always in my heart. How these new people who are coming up will have that maturity to take this process properly, and how to give them mature guidance so that their family, everybody is intact. Otherwise, we see there are so many discrepancies in the family, children not attending to parents, wife attending, not attending to the husband, husband not taking care of the family. So many cases. Every day I have to deal with some case or the other just because of this kind of circumstances. But definitely we need guidance of mature grahastas if somebody is entering the family life, and take this forward. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. I mean, you made it very clear. One more question. We become friendly, but now today's purport, you know that friends can become enemies. Any modes of nature. So you will not become very close. Why do I have to become too intimate? Because there is a chance that we can become enemies.
Yeah, it is one nice way to prevent enemies actually. don't go too close, don't go too far.
Hmm.
just have working relationships with everybody.